circle from here. And I already have one here. So this is the size of my circle, 6.268. I didn't type in a specific size, I just opened it up to that size. You can choose any size that you like and go from there. So we're going to use quite a few circles, so just pause if you feel like it's going too fast, do the step and then come back. So now the first circle, we're going to make the background with our pattern. So this pattern paper, it's digital, it's basically like cardstock for your computer. So it's digital paper. I put the link for the shop where I purchased this whole set. You can choose any theme that you like. It doesn't have to be the science theme. You don't even have to get it from there if you don't want to. Just get the characters you need. You could go to Etsy, type in the theme of digital paper that you're looking for, and they'll come up. So if you did purchase it or any other one, I'll show you how to get it on your canvas and how to make your shape with the design that you need. So you're going to go to upload on the left side here, upload images, browse, and then go to wherever you have it saved. Now this is where I have, these are the images we're using and these are the papers that we're going to. So you just choose one, open. See, it's here. Go to complex, continue. Now it's zoomed in. You can zoom out up here and you see what the page look like. So it's just like the 12 by 12 cardstock we purchased in the store, just the same thing, digital for your computer. We don't have to make any changes, take anything off, just press continue. And now when you go here, we're going to choose the print and cut option. If you ever choose a cut option on an image, it will outline and not every piece. You need an SVG file for that. This is a regular image PNG file, so the cut will be just around it. We're choosing this one. You can change the name if you like, add tags. Tags are just the terms that you would search to find this product when you're looking for all your stuff that you uploaded. I don't ever put tags. Most of the time I don't even save it under name because I just look at all of my uploads and choose the image I like. We're going to go to save. So now it's all here. It shows your first few. If you want to see all that you've done, just go to view all. And then everything you've uploaded over time will be there. So we're going to choose the paper, go to insert images. Now these files are pretty large when they come into Design Space, so you're just going to change the size so we can work with it. So at the top over here, go to the height, just type in 6, and we'll have it at 6 inches. It's a little smaller than our circle, so you just adjust it like that. Now make a duplicate and just put it on the side here for us to work with again. So cover up the entire circle, highlight both of them, go on the right side at the bottom here to slice, and now we've cut out our shape. You're going to get rid of these. Oh, we could have just kept this too. And there goes your background paper. Now this circle, we'll put it with this one. Do we want it this size? Yes, right here. Now change this color. I'm gonna go to advanced. You could make it colors advanced and just do a really light gray. This one will represent our acetate sheet. So I'm just gonna group those together. Wait, I wanna see it a little bit for when we're done. Group them together, and then we're going to move them over here and let it sit. Now let's get back to this second circle. So now we're going to create all of our layers, these 3 layers right here, to go on top of our paper, then our acetate sheet. So make a duplicate again at the top right. Keep it down here. Make another one. Now you're going to make this one go in a little smaller. Put it on top. Now we want it a little thicker. That's going to be the first layer, and the other layers have to go on top of it. Good. So now highlight both. You know what? I'll make it a little bit thicker. Bring it in. There we go. Highlight both. Now right here where it says align, hit that drop down button and go to center. Now put it directly in the center so we don't have to figure it out. You're going to highlight both. You're going to slice at the bottom again. You can remove those two. Now this is our first layer. You're going to change it to the color you want. We're going to change it to pink. Now it's time to create a second layer, but we don't want it the same size. You see over here this green layer? We want it a little bit smaller. So we're going to bring this to the front that we're working with. You're going to size it a little bit smaller, just about there, right? And now we're going to create that layer. So we're going to make another duplicate. Make it smaller, but you don't want it to be as thick as this because it's the middle layer. So you don't want it the same size. So let's say about that much. Looks pretty good. Highlight it again. Go back to align and center. There we go. And I'm going to show you a trick if you forgot to make a duplicate for your other one in a moment. So let's go to slice. Take that out. Now we're going to change this to green or whatever color you're using. And you see it fits in the center there. Now if you feel like it's not centered enough, you could just alter the shape. Unlock it and shape it in a little smaller at the sides, wherever. Now we need another circle just like we did, but I forgot to duplicate it. Let me show you what you can do. We're not using these little ones. Take this, make a duplicate. Click on it. On the right side, on the bottom where it says contour, click hide all contours, and that will hide all the inner space. You see what's highlighted here? And just click out of it, and it gave us back our full circle. So we're going to measure like we did before. Come in a little smaller. A little bit more. There we go. Put that back. And now we're going to create our third layer. Make a duplicate. Make it a little smaller. And this one is going to be thin because it's that top layer. Just about that is fine. However you want it, it's perfectly fine. When you're designing like these, you don't have to do exactly what you learn. It's just a technique that you're really learning. From there, already centered. From there, you just add whatever you want. Go to slice. If you want it a little thicker, make it thicker. If you feel like it needs to be anything else, it's your design. You change it to what you like. So we're going to change this color to yellow so we can see that layer. So when I did this, I feel like it doesn't come down here. So I would just unlock it and just bring it down a little bit. And over, and it's more centered. Lock that back. Now we have our 3 layers. You can group them together. This will be on top of this, you see? Isn't that just perfect? Okay. Now, you see the yellow the green one, that green layer right there. What you can do, go over to the panels here. You're going to duplicate that layer, turn it black. Now, this will be your stencil layer that we have to cut out on the foam. So when we layer this, this is how it would be layered. I'm going to ungroup. You're going to have your print here. Let's move this arranged to the front so we could see it on top. Then your foam will go right here. Then, see, this is in the back. We're going to go to the top and arrange to the front so we can see it on top. You're going to lay your clear acetate sheet on top of that after you put all your sprinkle, your glitter, whatever you want to put in there. I don't recommend regular fine glitter, chunky glitter. Lay the acetate sheet, getting tongue-tied here. And then our layers, we're going to move to the front. The layers go on top here. See that? And that's how you layer your sheet. Now, I like to put something on the back layer, so we're going to make a duplicate. Click back on here, a duplicate. I just want to make sure it's the same size as the base. I'm not going to, you can do a pattern paper if you want to cut it out and have the pattern on the back. I'm going to change it to cut. So you go to fill up here, no fill. Now this will cut out a circle and I'll cut it on glitter paper. So I'm going to arrange that to the back. And that's going to be our glitter layer. You can change it to whatever. I'm doing like a mint green glitter. So I'm going to change it to that color. So this is going to be the back. So when you flip the cake topper over, you see just glitter, not just a plain white piece of paper. So that's the back layer. This is the first top layer. Then you have, let's get the stencil, your foam, sprinkle in your glitter or whatever adornments you want to put in there. Sometimes you can cut like an image like this and actually put it inside if you want. Lay your acetate sheet and then your 3 layers. And that's how your cake topper will be. You can, once you're finished this, highlight all of that, group it together. Just in case you make a decision to change the size, you want to change it together. So see, we can change the size and everybody will change and be together the correct sizing. Now we go to our images. You're going to upload. So the link is there for you to go to purchase. Just go to the shop, mujka.com. I have the link in your supplies list. Type in science and all the science images will come up. If you want to do another theme, go right ahead. This shop has amazing images, a variety of races. That's the best part about this shop. And like, I think it's practically every theme you could think of. So whatever theme your customer, your family member has, it's most likely there. If not, you want characters, just go and purchase. You can go to Etsy and purchase the digital files and your digital paper and just get going. So I'm talking enough, guys, but I just want to make sure you have everything you need. So I have these here. I'm going to go back to science. I want I'm just finding, this is on my computer, so don't let this confuse you. Okay, so I found the graphics where I have them saved. And you're going to choose your girl, complex, or your boy, whoever you want. Same thing, nothing has to be changed here. Even the background is already removed. So if you want to see the full thing, just zoom out and you see the full image. Go to continue, and just like we did before, you're saving the print and cut and save. So you repeat that for all of the images that you would like to use for this topper. You see I'm using the girl, this little atom here, and the little, I don't even remember the correct name for these things, the beaker, the magnifying glass, things like that. So we're going to go back. We're going to grab our girl. We're going to get this. I got to go view all because I'm missing one, this one, and this one. So insert, choose whatever you're using, anything you want to use, and go to insert images. And remember, they come in pretty large, so you're going to click on each one, go to their height, change it to 3, and then we'll alter it from there when we put it on top of the layers for our cake topper. And then we'll know exactly what we need to do. I didn't even change it. Okay. And the last one here. All right. Oh, we forgot one thing. Go back to uploads. I need my Word, my little science cancel. cancel, go to upload and view all. My little science word right here, insert. We're going to change the width to about 6 and then work from here. Okay, so I'm putting this on top here. So I'm going to make the shadow layers. For this one, I want to make 2 shadow layers and a double layer of the word science. So you're going to make a duplicate. So we have the double layer and one more for the shadow. So we have these 2 that'll go on top of each other. The shadow we're going to change over here to fill, no fill. You're going to unlock, expand it sideways and down, then bring it in, you see? And that's the shadow there. You just size your shadows to how you want. I want 2 shadows, so I'm going to make a duplicate here and make the back one now a little bit bigger than the original one. So down again and over. Let's change the color so you can actually see it. So we'll change that one to white. Put this here, see that? If you want to make this, just bring it down a little more, center it. That's perfect. Change it to lavender. Arrange these to the front so we can see, and that's how it'll look. And this, I'm just gonna glue this on top with the foam circles to give it a little dimension. And that's how we do that. Now group it together. Everything that's layered on top of each other, you want to group. Now you size it. If you want it where it's just like within the circle, the inner circle here, you could do that. I like them across the top and a little bit outside of the edge of the entire thing. Now for the little girl, I'm going to have her on the outside in the center. See that? So we're going to duplicate her 2 times. This one is going to be our shadow layer. Let me move these out the way so we can make the shadow. You're going to go to fill again, no fill, unlock, bring it down, bring it wider, and bring her in and see how you like it. See, that's perfect for me. I'm going to make another duplicate. Make this one a little longer, a little wider again, and let's see how it fits. Perfect. So I'm going to change the colors so that when I send it to the mat, I'm not confused. So I know what color cardstock or glitter cardstock I'm going to put on there. So we're going to arrange her to the front. Same with this one. Arrange to the front. And that's just our duplicate layer. Highlight all. Group it together. So if you end up making changes, it changes together. If you want to make her a little bigger, always change the size, but everything grouped together so you have that shadow. Now for the little pieces that I'm putting around, put it to the cake topper, measure it to the size you want. See that? And then we're going to create the shadows after. Make the little size. So with these, we're going to create the shadow the same exact way. Now let me show you for this one. You see, it has all those spaces in there. So the shadow will be a little harder. So what we're going to do is change this file right here at the fill to no fill. And then go over at the bottom here to contour again. Hide all contours. So now we just have the shape behind it. If you want, this necessarily doesn't have to be a little bigger because you're going to see that inside. But if you want, you can unlock it, make it a little longer, make it a little wider so it comes out. Change it to the color that you want to cut so there's no confusion when you send it to the mat. The white, I'm going to use like a white glitter, but it has like a pink kind of color to it. And then put it back. Now we're going to repeat that process for all of the little elements. Duplicate, change the fill to no fill, unlock, expand, and put that in there. Let's move it off the cake topper so we can see that. Now I'm leaving the gray because I'm going to cut this with silver glitter. So you're going to move over, highlight those two, group them together. Bring this down. Let's do the same. Duplicate, change it to no fill, unlock, expand, and center. So that, I think I expanded too much. I will bring that in some. That looks better. Group it together, and we're done. And that's going to be silver glitter as well. Same thing with this one. No fill, unlock, expand, and there we go. I'm going to change this to the lavender because that'll cut with lavender glitter. Group it, and there we have it. Everything we need to make our cake topper. So we're going to send everything. But before you do that, the most important step, I will repeat it over and over and over again. Save your project. Save it. If you already had something here and you just added some changes, that's just save. Save as is to save it as a whole new project. Save it as whatever you want. Name it. I already have a name because I saved it already. You would change the name and then you'll have two projects. The old one that was there, and then this new one. I'm going to cancel it out. So now that you've done that, I'm just taking this off because I'm cutting the original one that I had here. We're going to send to cut. Make sure you choose your correct machine. I'm using the maker. Make it. Now you see these are all our print and cut layers. That'll be the white glitter, silver glitter. You're going to use black cardstock. It doesn't matter the size, 65, 110 pound, doesn't matter because it's just a stencil. Yellow glitter. Let me show you a little something here. You see how these two separated? And you would have to use two separate glitter cardstock. It looks like it can still fit, so we're going to try. So let me just, down here, you have that lavender glitter and your hot pink glitter. Actually, I'm going to do pink cardstock. It's a 65 pound cardstock. So let me go back to the green and show you how we will put this together so we can save paper. So click on this layer, click on the image, the three dots right here, click that and put move object. So it's going to ask you what mat you want to move it on. If you change your mind and said you wanted it pink, you put it here. If you change your mind, you want it here, put it here. We're going to put it with the green we have already. Confirm, move it over, see, it can fit. So now we only have to cut one sheet of that glitter cardstock, right? So now we're going to continue, send to print. I always use the system dialog box here. I'm using the Epson Workforce 7720 printer, and it has the rear feeder that can accommodate really thick paper. So you're going to turn that dialog on, hit print, and you're going to wait for the system dialog box to open up. Sometimes it opens up behind the screen, so you'll have to minimize your screen and find it. In this case, I have the screen the widest that it can go, so it pops up in the front. So you're going to choose feeder. I'm using the rear feeder. I'm printing on photo glossy paper. The quality automatically goes to best, but just make sure that it does. If it doesn't, put it to best. I'm printing on the glossy photo paper and click print. Now, when I'm cutting on the glossy paper, I use glitter cardstock setting. So because all of these are basically glitter paper, I'm just going to leave it on glitter cardstock. The gray part, where's our gray sheet, guys? Hold on. Let's go back. I took out my gray, but when you send your gray piece, That was the acetate sheet. Switch it here to acetate. You don't have to, but I know some people like to have each setting to be perfect. I hit on glitter cardstock and I leave it there. The glitter cardstock setting will cut the acetate sheet as well. So we're going to send everything over. If you haven't done print and cut before, your page will come out like this with that black border. The black border are registration marks where your Cricut basically reads those marks and that will tell it where to cut on the page. So let's head over to, I'll show you one example of the print and cut, then you can do both pages here. We have two, and then we'll cut all the pieces and assemble the cake topper. Now that we have all of our layers cut, we're going to assemble all of this and then move on to the base of the topper, which is the shaker piece. So we're gonna start with this. So we did 3 layers. So this is gonna go in the middle of here, then this, then this. So it's 4 layers. So we're gonna use our foam circles on the back of this one. And now when you're gluing it to glitter, it stays, but just for a little extra strength, I put a dot of glue on there, just so that it doesn't really come off, because the glitter messes with the stickiness. See that? A little layered 3D effect. So for this one, they're the same size, but I just put 2, one on top of each other for a little extra dimension. So we're going to put those on each other first and then place it onto the glitter part. And now put it again, but this time with a little bit of glue, because it's going to be sticking on that glitter paper. Make sure it's like in the center so you don't see it from the front. Oh wait, hold on. I said for the extra strength and I didn't even do it. All right. Get that kind of centered there. And there we have that. See those layers? Beautiful. So we're going to do the same with our little girl. Now, if you want to put it on her feet and you don't have a smaller size in the foam circles, just pop it out, grab a pair of scissors, and you just cut that in half. And then you just glue that on. Because it's going on a glitter layer, you want to put a little glue for some extra strength. And lay that right on there. Now we're going to stick her, I'm going to do this one and this one. We're going to do the same for her feet and cut it in half. I try to pop it out with both sides of the paper on it so that I don't really get too much stickiness on my scissors. So, well, you know what? We don't need the glue for this one. When we put it on there, we'll use the glue. So just lay them on. It's paper on paper. It's the glossy paper. Layer it right on top of each other. And then you repeat that again, this time with the glue, because it is, like I said, going onto the glitter cardstock. And the glitter takes away some of that stickiness. Pop it out. And we're just basically repeating this process You only need glue, like I said, when it's on glitter. Center it, and there you go. See those layers of our little cutie today? So with this one, we're going to do the same, just the one layer. If you want to double it like I did, you can do that too. It's definitely up to you. This class is mainly for the techniques, and then you can take it as far as you want to go with any design. You could do it with any matching theme. It's all good. Come back here. All right. That string of glue gets everywhere. And now the same for here. And it's up to you too. If you don't want to use all of these foam circles, or you don't even necessarily want all of that dimension, you could just glue it directly onto the glitter paper. And also, if you cut it in half and it's still not good enough, just do it one more time. And see if it fit there. It goes off a little. So I do have the smaller ones, but I'm just gonna trim that off. Dabble a little glue just on this piece. I don't want the glue to string too much on the bottom piece. And there we have it. Repeat. I still have a piece on here. I'll just use this. And the half that I had here. Add a little bit of glue. And then for this one, I'm not adding the foam dots because it's so, the design is so slim. You're going to see it. So I'm just going to put, oh, you know what, guys? Hold on. I'm going to take that off. Let me show you something. Because I do have the smaller ones, I think they can fit exactly in that little piece. Yeah, it actually fits. So this one can have a little bit of dimension. It just has to be directly in the little circle there. And like I said, it's going on glitter paper. Well, this little piece didn't punch out. There we go. So I'm going to add a little glue. And then, oh yeah, I love this. I love this. This looks amazing. So now our little details are all done. So as you can see, we're just gonna move on to this area, but this is where they will, you know, all line up around the cake topper. So now we're gonna move on to creating our shaker part and our little window. Okay, now we're gonna work on this shaker piece. So we have our foam board and our stencil that we cut out. Now, if you have like a cutting mat, you could use that. I use a stack of cardstock because when we cut through with our knife, our true control knife, it can go through to the desk, so you don't want that. So you're going to lay your stencil on top of the foam board. Get a pen or a marker. I just dropped my top. Trace the circle. And if you mess up, it's okay, because no one's going to see the lines. We're gonna cut and put it on there. So what you're going to do, don't rush. Just hold it down as you go along so you can get the full. See, that moved a little, so I won't do that again. I should have been doing it step by step like this the whole time, but hey guys, line it back up if it moves and cut. All right, so that's what we have here. And now you're going to use your knife and cut through. So what I usually do is do a thin layer, just tracing the circle. And that's just to kind of cut the paper, because this is not just foam. This foam board has that, you know, sheet of paper on the front and the back. If you want to use just the foam, that's fine also. And they have like the heated foam cutters. You can use that. Once you're tracing your shape and cutting it out, whatever you choose to use is just fine. I would say that the foam cutter does not work on this foam board because of the paper, so it kind of like burns the paper. If you have just foam, that'll be great, because you will not be spending all this time with tracing out the shape with the knife and then cutting. It'll just cut through that thing like butter. So now that I have that like traced in, I'm gonna put the knife in, go down far, and cut along the line that I traced. Now I'm pressing down so it can go all the way through to the other sheet of paper as well. And that's why, if you see here, you cannot do it just on your desk. You'll ruin your desk. I learned the hard way, guys. So have either a sheet of paper, well, a few sheets of paper like I have, like not just regular paper, cardstock, or a cutting mat. Cutting mat is way better. They have the self-healing mats. And just go along and get that cut out. Let's see, did we get the hole? No, just a little bit more to go. Let's see, all right. Pop that little baby out. And then we're going to repeat the process for the inner part. So you see, we're making our shape. It's coming to. So if you have an easier way, be my guest, guys. Do what is best for you, and definitely what's going to make your life easier, especially if you're gonna have a few of these, you know, orders, just make sure you have time. You don't want to rush. And if you're not too sure if you went all the way around, just check the back. And it looks like I did. Just this one little piece right here. See that? Ready to pop. So some pieces of the paper didn't go all the way through, so you can just, and we have our foam. So now we're gluing everything on top. If you don't want to see that, but let me show you. This is why I did it a little skinnier than the piece that's going on top of it. See? So you don't see that. Hallelujah. So here what we're going to do. We're going to start with our decorative piece. It's a little, let me move this so we can see. And you're going to just glue that kind of centered. So let's get the glue. And get it every inch of this circle. You want this down and sealed so that your glitter does not seep out. Just eyeball and kind of center that. Make sure it's pressed down. That's where our little acetate sheet comes in. So the acetate, you'll see it looks foggy because it has that film covering it to protect it on both sides. So you're gonna peel off one side. First, we're gonna put our stuff in. Then when we're ready to glue, you put it on and then you peel off the other side. So I'm gonna lay that here and we're gonna add whatever color, how much ever you want of your chunky glitter. If you have some stones and you wanna throw it in there, some people make their own custom confetti and throw it in there. Whatever you want inside there, just throw it in so we can shake it up. There we go. I feel like I need a little more pink in there. Okay, all right. So that's done. Now we're going to seal our little shaker, see that? And remember, you're gluing here and every inch, because we're sealing it where nothing comes out. Don't overdo it with the glue because you don't want it to kind of be shown that it's seeping through, even though we have that wider piece, so you just be careful. Now we're gluing down the side that we already peeled off. And I just want to make sure, I should have made sure before I did that I have the right one. Okay, so this is the side we're peeling after. So the side you already peeled off, you lay that on top of the circle. Press it all the way around. Make sure. If there's any pieces that didn't, you could kind of move it around. And if you see some coming out, you can take the glue gun and just add some glue here to, you know, seal it extra. This looks good though. I always hit it because sometimes it sticks to the acetate sheet. So now that top layer acetate sheet, you're gonna get that peeled off. And now you see the clear paper. How gorgeous is that? I just love it. All right, and then see our piece? So we covered up. So we're going to run our glue again. Lay our circle on there. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now what I do, so I just try to make sure my design is, it's all over the place. So just like right side up when you're ready to glue the pieces on. So we're gonna get this on. I wanna do this with a little bit of dimension. So that it's not just flat, we're gonna use our foam circles. Now we don't need any extra glue because again, it's gluing onto cardstock. We need that little extra when we're gluing it onto the glitter. You decide how much you want on there. I like to have a good amount because I feel like these spaces, you'll see it kind of denting in. So you need like as much support in between there as possible. That looks good. Maybe one more in that center here. And then we just line it up. See that? We're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. And then we have our yellow layer that goes right above that. And we're going to add dimension on this as well. I'm going to use these smaller dots. If you don't have smaller dots, just cut up your larger ones. Cut it into small pieces and just get it on there. Now, because these are so tiny, you probably want a few, but before you put it on, like I said, it's going onto glitter paper. So you want to dab some glue on there to make sure it's secure. Also, especially like you want it to hold up if you're going to ship. Now these are a little thicker than the usual cake topper. So if it does not fit in your usual cello bag, you can use the clear boxes from Uline. So if you haven't purchased the packaging class, all of that information is in the packaging class with the links to purchase all of those things for when you're ready to package your party decorations and ship. All right, you see that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love it, I love it. And then our little princess goes in the middle. So we're going to get, again, our foam circles. Get our little baby on there. I think I finished the whole pack already. One more here. And depending on your design, this one, the decorations in there are all over the place. So it doesn't have to be straight, but if you have a regular design, make sure it's where you need it, where she's standing, and it's good. I'm going to put her a little bit lower so that our banner can go up here. So I want her to fit with it. So I'm gonna lay her right here. Oh my goodness, how cute is she? All right, so what I want to do, I need to look at it. Lay this where you want it. Put your finger, make sure your finger, raise that up. Your finger goes right here. We're going to put a dab of glue. Make sure it's centered where you want it and lay that back down. Then here, we already know where it goes and that side is already holding down. Just raise it up, put the glue gun in there, and there you go. How cute is she? I just have to get some more glue. Now you figure out where you want all of these little elements to go. See that? So we're just gonna put a dot of glue in the center and lay that right there. Here, I'm not sure. I want it a little slanted up. I'm gonna put the glue on here first. Remember, this is solely up to you if you want it straight like this. Oh, I like it like this. but then I like it slanted. So we'll just do slanted for now. We're doing this here. And then this one, just put a dot of glue and just have it hanging off a little. See that? And then the glitter piece we cut, that's so that the back of it is a full glitter sheet. So it's not just plain white in the back. So I'm going to get my sticks just to put in there. Now, if you don't have the really long ones, I usually don't buy them because they end up being too long. But in this case, you can actually use them in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2. And when I do them, I always try to figure out where I want it, put the glue on the stick, and then lay it from here so that I can make sure it is straight. Also, you can go on Amazon and get the acrylic sticks. I've seen a lot of people use them, and honestly, they look way better. I haven't purchased them. I can't even tell you why. See that? And our little baby is sturdy. So on the back now, I'm going to use the foam circles. And if you want to, you can add glue if you feel like you need that extra. So I'm going to put them towards the edge, but not like on the end. But I've definitely, it's up to you how much you use. I like to use a good amount just to make sure it stays, doesn't budge, holds up during shipping. Because even if you put a little warning, they might still be throwing your package. Right? They're very sticky. So we want to just kind of line it up before you press it down, just to make sure it's correct, and then press it into that. See? So that's the back, and this is the front. How cute is that? The shaker topper with a regular shape like a circle. That technique you can use with a square or a triangle. But now I'm going to show you guys, if you wanted to do a shape like the character here, how we would go about doing that. So I created a Peppa Pig shaker cake topper, and the complete body of Peppa Pig was the entire shaker. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The steps are going to be a little bit more, because it's going to be like we're building and creating our own foam board. So this is great if you're not really well with cutting, because I know using the True Control knife, you got to be kind of steady making that shape. So I'm going to show you. So this is her body, and it's going to be the full background. So you're going to print this entire image, then create like your layered foam board that's going to go on top of it. Then we have to cover that up and then put everything together. So you're going to have one shape. You're going to keep one for the back. And this one we're going to use to create our little border. So you're going to do another duplicate and change this one to a cut file up here. So you go to fill, change to no fill. Now, these little pieces are going to stay the same. We're not trying to make that a shaker because you see how thin that is. So what we're going to do here, we're going to weld those pieces off. So get a square. If you have a character like maybe Mickey Mouse, you know, his ears are large. So you can actually just keep those and make it the complete shaker. So you're going to do that and come as close to get those arms off. You can either go to the right and hit slice, or when you highlight both, right click, and all of the options are there. So we got all those pieces off, get rid of them. So you're going to repeat the process until all of the little limbs and the hair is gone. So instead of, we'll just make a duplicate to use on all the pieces. So let's get as close as possible to just remove that little piece. Highlight, oops, I moved it instead of highlighting it. Go back close. Now it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just a little outlining for the shaker. Slice. And get rid of those. So we're going to keep going until we get all of these pieces off. Let's turn it a little. I keep touching pepper instead of the little square. And there we go. Highlight it all. Right click and slice. Move her over. See that? And it's gone. Gonna make another duplicate of this. Now it's time to get the legs. You can just make this obviously a little longer. Let's move that one over so we can see it better. Go as close as possible. If you do it and it still has a little piece, just repeat the process. Slice. Oh, we got it off clean. If you got it off and a little bit is there, just get another square and go right back in. So you're going to just keep doing this until you basically have the main shape. I want to move that to the front so I can see it. Go in, highlight, go back, and you're going to slice again. See how there's still that piece? Don't even worry about it. Bring back in your piece. If you still don't get it, just keep going until it gets close enough. Just remember to save it. Save this project when you're done so that you have another order for this character. You're not going through this whole process again. Highlight and slice. Sorry. There we go. So we just need that piece, and all of this is going to be gone. We can change it another color just so we can see it better while we're using it on top of the gray. Now get that layer that we changed to a cut, lay this on top of it, make it smaller. As you can see, we're doing the same process like the circle. Unlock, you could bring in which side needs to come in a little more. Now that looks pretty thin, so I would do it a little more, maybe like this. You see that? Hold on. Perfect. Highlight it, right click, or go to the bottom right down here and choose slice, any one you choose. Take that out, get rid of those, and this right here we're going to use as our border. Now you're going to cut this 8 times, this shape 8 times, and try to use 110-pound cardstock. I used white. Now let's get back to finishing our design. The background, remember I did a few of them. This is why. You're going to lay this right on top of here. Let's make a duplicate, guys. Sorry. I should have kept the other size and made it smaller. All right. Now what you're going to do, you're going to make this baby match our sides, and I'll show you why. Right there, and bring it down. Highlight it, then slice again. Move that over, take that out. We don't need this one. We're keeping the colored one, that one. This here, gone. So this is the one we're going to keep. So let me show you how it would be layered. Now also guys, do not look at what I have over here. I don't want that to confuse you. This is just something I was working on. Now here goes your back layer. This is going to be your little foam board right there. Let's make them match. I think I had two sizes. Okay. I was just looking at the sizes. I want them to be exact size. There you go. So you're going to have 8 of these. We're going to glue them together into a stack and make that, basically make our own foam board. You're going to have the Cricut cut it for you so you don't have to worry about your cutting. Once it's glued together, you're going to lay it on top of this. Add all of your sequins and confetti, whatever it is you add into your shaker topper. Then your acetate sheet goes on top. With the acetate, if you don't know what size to get, cut this. Duplicate, not even if you don't know, you have to. Sorry guys. You're going to change it to no fill. Change it to another color so it cuts on its own, maybe brown, because you know that's going to be the off color. So basically we're getting 8 of these, glue them together, stack them down, add our sequins. Then this is our acetate sheet that goes over and covers it. And when you cut it, I would say wait till the acetate sheet cuts and then just take off the hands and the feet yourself. Then you take this layer and you put it over the acetate sheet and it matches up. That way people are not seeing the foam and you just add that on there. Do you see that? How perfect is that? So I'm going to cut it and then show you. I'm not going to fully assemble it because I showed you how to fully assemble in the other videos, but I am going to show you how to make your foam board to go on top of your pig. So we're going to head over to the Cricut and get that part done. So if you want, you can make your duplicates in here and then send to the mat, or you could just keep one and then cut it by itself and just change it to 8 on the mat. So we're going to take these out, send to mat, and cut everything. Now when you're cutting on this setting, I usually put it to glitter cardstock when I'm cutting 110-pound paper. I just feel like the glitter cardstock, it cuts really deep and it definitely goes through the paper. So I usually purchase the 8.5 by 11 110-pound cardstock from Michaels. And even though it fits here, you can line it up where it fits exact right here. And I'll show you guys and then we'll cut them and I'll show you how to assemble those. Okay, now that all of your pieces are cut, you're going to use your glue pen and glue all of them on top of each other. you want to just line it up as best as you can. Now this takes a little longer, but believe me, it is really worth it, because now you can have any irregular or uncommon shape. So we're just repeating that 8 times. So now that you've done all 8, I'm going to show you how it looks. See? So it stacks up and it's thick. So you're going to get your printed Peppa Pig, and then you're going to flip over the piece you just created. Line that glue up on there. My hand has glue all over it. And now you're just going to put it on let that baby dry. Can you see? Now 8 pieces is enough for these size. These are from the Dollar Tree. Thank you to my crafty friends for purchasing them for me. And it's the perfect size for these. And I know some of them come in different sizes. So what you would do before you put anything on top, put your pieces, just a few pieces in here, and make sure that this is high enough. If you have some pieces and it seems like it's bigger than your board, cut maybe 2 or 3 more and add them on top. Before you finish though, leave this and let it dry for a good little while. Then On top of that, once you put everything in, just like the previous video, add your acetate sheet. And this is where that piece, remember this piece that we sliced through? So this would go over this to cover it and complete Peppa Pig. If you don't want the exact, you could even just change this to a cut file and cut it on some glitter cardstock. That would be cute too. And that's how you create your shaker topper in any shape that you like. Don't forget to tag me, guys. I want to see your creations.